9/11.
Oh, here we're back. We're here. Cycling in from a SpongeBob joke that you didn't hear because we just started recording before we did it. We're both a little out of it today, so we're going to try and squeeze through this as much as we can.
Yeah.
Both of us for different reasons. For me, it's probably because I just started exercising on the regular. And it's taking a bit out of me, but I feel better lately, I guess. I think I've been trying to do that because, well, last episode I was saying, I want to start that comic and get something done. And just lately I still haven't been able to, despite kicking myself off of Twitter. And I've been sticking to it, too. So I'm proud of that. My mood, I think, is a bit better, too, unsurprisingly. But it's just getting that mood turning that into productivity. And but now I'm like running on the treadmill every day. Not today though, because my calves are killing me. Probably don't want to hear about that. But you said you were like chasing your dog around.
I got a puppy. He got loose at 9 o'clock, and I was in the woods till fucking 1. That puppy came home. Our neighbors got like, "Oh yeah, we found him. We took him inside. We had kielbasa for supper. We gave him kielbasa." I was fucking in the woods. I had mud all over my shoes. I was gonna fucking kill that dog.
I don't know if I should say it, the joke that was on my mind.
What?
I was going to say, like, you glad that your neighbors aren't Chinese, or they would have said, we've had kielbasa. We couldn't find your dog, though.
See, okay, good. He had learned his punishment. God.
Speaking of China, Disney has started. I just finally caved in and subscribed to Disney Plus. They've got. I was gonna cancel after the free trial, but they got so much stuff to watch on there that I might hang on to it.
Do they have Wind in the Willows?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think they do, because I was actually just skimming through my Disney animation book, Illusion of Life, by Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston, to the 12-9 old, or the not the 12-9 old men, the 9 old men, two of the 9 old men who made Disney great from the beginning, who made Disney animation what it is, legendary. And one of the chapters, they intersperse all these different animated movies, not screenshots, photos. That's what they call them before, so they invented screenshots. But yeah, it was, one of them was Wind in the Willows, and I was going to check to see if it was on, but I don't think it is on Disney Plus. Not yet, at least.
You know what? I also wonder if you'll have Song of the South on there.
Yeah, no.
You know what's weird? I kind of like the Zippity-Doo that song.
But yeah, Disney, I think, just recently made a public statement saying some of their there's some movies in their catalog that they're just never going to let see the light of day.
Wind in the Willows is one of those. Not Wind in the Willows. Song of the South is one of those.
Yeah, Song of the South is definitely one of those.
Yep.
And pirates are looking at it's free real estate. That was a meme. I was gonna say a good meme, but I don't think. It's hard for me to tell what a good meme is anymore. It was last year's memes that nobody uses anymore except dorks like me. The Simpsons is also on Disney Plus because Disney has to own everyone's soul now, and because they own Fox, or they own a fair chunk of Fox, I guess, the one that has The Simpsons in it.
Yeah.
But it's great to have all the episodes on one streaming service that I can watch it legally on. The downside is that all the Simpsons episodes right now are stretched to condensed to 16:9.
Oh, that must kill some of the jokes.
Yeah, the one that everybody was pointing out, and the one I pointed out before anyone else, is the Duff Brewery gag, where they're showing the tubes, they're showing we have here's where we make Duff Light, and introducing Duff Dry. It's all these separate containers, but they're all connected to the same pipeline. But the top of the screen gets cut off in the 16 by 9 version, so it completely ruins the joke. So like Disney made a statement saying that this like I think probably next month, they said early half of 2012 they're going to fix that. They're going to give you an option to watch it either in the 16 by 9 or the original intended and correct version, the 4 by 3 version. But it made me think, because I know that one of the criticisms of like the modern Simpsons episodes is the animation is like very sterile, and you can see like it loses a lot of its character compared to the roughness, but still like full of character type of like the original.
I like
cell
a little
animation.
rough animation.
Yeah, from like the 90s, and I was wondering like if, just as an experiment, if you took one of the classic episodes from like season 3 or 4 and reanimated it in the modern Simpsons style with computers, like how much of the like jokes would like fall flat because of that.
That's a good point. Like,
So like it'd be neat just to see, just to gauge the reaction, or like just to see like how it. I don't know, because most of the Simpsons like greatness came from the writing, but if that's the case, then you'd think that if it was reanimated with like computer animation, how like I would be curious to see like how much of it would be lost if that happened.
The sort of roughness of Simpsons kind of blends in with the tone I felt.
Yeah, because I can picture it in my head like a computer, like season 30 style animation put into like one of the classic season 5 or 4 episodes, and it doesn't look pretty in my head. So I imagine it's even worse if you actually did it. Also, I don't know if you knew about this, the Michael Jackson episode. They don't have that on Disney Plus. So like the first episode of, and that actually confused me for a minute because I was skimming through season 3, like scrolling through. I get to the front of the list. I'm like, hey, how come it didn't scroll to episode 1? It's like, oh, it's that episode, right. That sucks. But I mean, pirates, they don't really care. So pirates, like, not gonna name names. It's like a certain Blony Blastarstic that is known to have watched episodes. I'm sorry, that's a terrible joke.
We're hunting baloney.
I'm trying to do a Simpsons joke and failing miserably because I'm still a little out of it.
Leg day kills you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I'm also doing leg day because the fucking 4-mile walk.
I mean, today was more arms day, especially because I was trying to repair like the door to my second bathroom. The hinges were coming off, and or like they were crooked to the point where I couldn't close the door.
Did you just get really mad one day and go, I need to get in the shitter?
I think it's my brother's fault when he was still living there. It's just taking me that long to like get, because I don't use that bathroom anymore. And I was just thinking before I got here was, I like when you have an apartment with 2 bathrooms in it, you really can't complain about anything in your life because it's like, for me at least, it's
just
like,
alternate which one you use.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, because if you let the toilet like sit for too long without flushing it, then it tends to fuck up the pipes or something, or fuck up the interior of the toilet flusher or whatever. So yeah.
The interior of a toilet flusher. That's the proper name of it. I'm kidding.
I'm not a plumber, thankfully.
Neither am I. I do know one thing. I used to fuck up toilets, and when it starts overflowing, run like a motherfucker. Because have you ever had to explain to someone, excuse me, Mister who runs this establishment, there's a tsunami in the bathroom? That's when I was a little kid, of course, before I learned the rule, wrap around the hand, bear claw. I apologize for STMI.
I didn't follow any of that.
Bear claw, you wrap it around your hand 3 times.
Yeah, why? Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's why.
I also watched some the classic Disney movies and one Pixar movie. Finally saw Inside Out.
How'd you like it?
It's good.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, people say it's probably the last time Pixar was great. after. I mean, because people said, there was a certain. I think it was after Up. People said, oh, the Disney or the Pixar movies just really tanked after that. But Inside Out, I think, was. It's good. I don't think it's Wall-E good, or I still need to watch Ratatouille. That's one that I think a lot of adults like a lot more than children do. Because it's
Watch Ratatouille. I like it.
Yeah.
It's got this like weird sort of adultness to it, as you literally just said.
Yeah. I think that Brad Bird directed that, and I think he did set out to make more of a movie for adults than for kids. Sort of to, I want to say it was to prove a point to people who keep calling animation a genre. It's a medium, not a genre. But another one I watched was Sleeping Beauty. It's another example of a movie that's more adult, I guess.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty is kind of dark at times.
Yeah, it's kind of an art film in a way. I think they use a style that I don't think it had been used before or since.
Nope, there has been a game that uses it. The Banner Saga uses it.
Oh yeah, and I think probably Final Fantasy, they may have taken some inspiration from it.
I like Banner Saga, so that's why I knew that.
Yeah, Banner Saga. I do remember hearing about that. And I like how they play it straight. Because I'm so sick of stuff like Frozen and Tangled, like taking that fairy tale stuff and just being like, it's not like which they take from Shrek, where it's like that satirical edge, where it's like, we're gonna take these tropes and flip it on their head. Who's done that before since 2001? And it's like it gets annoying after a while. You want to see something real, I guess, after a while.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I like sometimes when you play it straight. I also like the satire. Mm-hmm. It's just how you do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I like Shrek. I like Shrek 2 also, and there are, I guess, a few parts of Frozen that I kind of like. Not really though.
I've never seen Frozen in its fullness. Because I have a parent. I'm kidding. Mm-hmm. Like,
well, I have an excuse for when I saw Frozen. I had to see it with my girlfriend at the time. So, yeah.
Hey, baby, you want to see Frozen? Mm-hmm. Wink, wink, I like you. Mm-hmm. I'm kidding, man, but like...
I mean, that's basically, I guess, if you wanted to paraphrase it.
I'm sorry, man, but like, I have a bit of a hatred of the movie Tangled for a dumb reason.
Really?
So, I was a weeb back in the day, as you can tell. Mm-hmm. And we had a teacher who we had to write an assignment on a movie or TV show we watch. And I'm like, Neon Genesis Evangelion! She wouldn't let me write a character study on it because there weren't any characters in anime. I had to write one on Tangle, which I hadn't ever seen. Oh my fucking god. And only recently I saw the movie. And I kind of wish the villain won. Madame Mother Gothel, whatever her name is, I like her.
Yeah. And I actually was reading up on the Snow Queen, which was the story that was, like, the Frozen was loosely based off of. And the story sounds so much more interesting than what we ended up getting with Frozen that it kind of made me a little bit angry.
What do you mean?
Just the missed opportunity.
I mean, like, what is it like?
It's more of a, I guess, straight up fantasy story, and it has a sort of like coming of age there and back again, like between these two main characters. One of them named Kai, who's seduced by the Snow Queen to I guess she's like forcing him to say like this magic word that'll make him her slave or something, or like sell his soul to her, and that his best friend Gerda is trying to rescue him, and it's only through the power of love and friendship that they're able to succeed or whatever. I mean, I'm selling it kind of like a cheesy shit, but it's like it's not like I think it could have worked like really well. I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm into straight up fantasy, like when it's taken seriously and not like satirically.
I like fantasy too. I like satirical fantasy when you know what to satirize.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, apparently there is a Russian film, like, made pretty recently, a Russian animated film, based more, like, concretely on the Snow Queen. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm not that interested in checking it out right now, but maybe I will sometime in the near future. Just out of spite. I mean, yeah, if I put that in my head where it's like I'm just gonna spite
Have you ever
Frozen.
seen the Russian Little Mermaid?
No.
It's got some weird, like, there's one version. It looks like the opening of Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm. There's a Russian version of Beauty and the Beast that looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's a sort of like there's the sort of Tim Burton style where their heads are all big and their eyes are big, but they got like long, spindly limbs.
Oh, I like that. I like Tim Burton stuff. I like too much Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. It's a guilty pleasure.
Uh-huh. And the world eventually got sick of those two after a while.
Not me.
Huh. You like the Alice in Wonderland movies, Tim Burton's?
I don't like the stories. I don't like the filmmaking, but I like the visuals. I like it. It's a treat for the eyes.
Whenever I see a clip of either of those Wonderland movies, it makes me think of a guy who just ate a bunch of Skittles and threw up everywhere.
That's kind of, but not kind of what Burton was going for.
Yeah. I like the original, or like the 1950s. There's a 1950s Disney movie.
So do I, but like, to be honest, I prefer the Disney version. I like the deleted songs in a lot of Disney movies. Did you know Shere Khan had a villain song? And his villain song was fucking magnificent. So the song had another character who was a hunter who was going to kill Shere Khan, and the guy was like, "I'm going to kill you and make you into a rug." And the guy says, and Shere Khan says, "You don't have to kill me. You have no reason to kill me or hate me. Once you hate me, then kill me." I love it. It was awesome. It was a true villain song, and it was sung by the guy who did Tony the Tiger.
Makes me think of that incident with the Tony the Tiger Twitter accounts. I don't know if I want to get into that.
Hey, do you remember when Mountain Dew had the contest to name their new flavor of soda? Number one.
Which one won? Yeah.
It was Hitler Did Nothing Wrong.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Number 2 was Gushing Granny.
I think I know that Internet Historian did a video on that, and
I didn't watch it, but I thought, and I went, I remember what won. If only we honored the contract.
I think another one was like, "Ouch, my apples," like kicking the apples, or
one was called 9-Gag Meme Juice.
Another one I'm sure was named 9/11.
Yes,
yeah.
there are several 9/11 ones.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, Aladdin. Not the new crappy one, but the old good one.
Burns Ali, fabulous.
Yeah, that was actually stuck in my head after I watched it.
It's the best song in the movie, I think. Actually, not that one. Do you know what the best song is? The Reprise by Jafar.
Oh yeah.
I love that Jafar doesn't have a villain song. His villain song is him stealing the hero song.
Yeah, and he's a lot hammier than I remember. Because like the part where he's like fighting Aladdin, he's like, "You get the point," and then he throws summons a bunch of swords. And the things are heating up, and the ring of fire like erupts around him. It's just like
Jafar was cool.
Yeah, he enjoyed being a villain. I think that was one of the main criticisms of the live action version is that the guy playing Jafar in that, he just had like no charisma.
But Will Smith was a good genie, right?
I mean, from what little I saw.
He can't be Robin Williams.
I mean, yeah, obviously. So, like, the fact that they had him, like, play it like his own character made it, like, at least something that, you know.
Do you know who they should have had be the genie? The guy from the stage show. Have you ever seen the stage show one, the musical one?
No.
The dude did it like a Cab Calloway kind of thing. Like, he did it like a 1930s hype man deal. It was actually kind of sweet.
Do you ever play the SNES Aladdin?
I have never played an SNES in my life.
Okay, yeah, because I just bring that up because I know that a lot of people like point to that as being one of the high points in movie adaptation or like video game adaptations of movies.
Have you ever heard? Did we ever mention the Kong game on there? Peter Jackson's Kong.
Oh yeah, I think that is at least on the list, one of the lists.
I love that game because guess what happens in? I'm sorry to interrupt you because it's a monster movie reference. But guess what happens if you beat the final level of the highest score possible?
Yeah, that's the alternate ending, right?
Yeah, where Kong lives. I fucking love that. Monsters need a happy ending once in a while, I think. You know?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like any like monster or like giant monster movies that have happy endings.
There's only one I can think of. The movie Gorgo. Big monster mama finds her baby and goes back in the ocean with it. Neither of them die.
I mean, lately, yeah, we've had with the legendary Godzilla movies.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of recently. Because I got into an argument with Rick about this. Rick was like, why do they have to save Godzilla? Because it's a fucking Godzilla movie. Ah! It would be like...
He's the star of the movie, yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine watching a Godzilla movie? It's like, we have to kill Godzilla and Mothra and King Ghidorah and Rodan. The dude was fucking like... When a monster fucking shields you from a giant bug in 2014, that's when you go, yep, he's a keeper. Godzilla is a great character, you know? Because he can wear so many hats.
Yeah.
He can be the defender of mankind. He can be rising from the depths 40 meters tall. Or, you know, he can be 2014's defender of the universe.
Another Disney movie I saw was Sword in the Stone.
I always liked that one.
Yeah. It kind of surprised me because I didn't realize that, like, it was, like, it's sort of a, like, a fantasy satire, but it's not, like, you know, straight up, like, Frozen or Shrek or whatever, but it kind of reminds me of Winnie the Pooh, actually, in that, like, it's about, like, these different sort of segments in this movie where, you know, Prince Arthur learns to be, a fish, and then he's a squirrel, and it's like their adventures of him and Merlin as squirrels. And
You know what I love is the villain. Remember in my comic I have that pig lady? She's a reference to the villain because of that one line where she has where I could be so beautiful, but I could be my true self instead. I like that.
yeah, Madam Mim.
Madam Mim.
Yeah.
The Mad Madam Mim.
And yeah, it's a fun little movie, and I liked it. Not as much as Sleeping Beauty, but yeah, it was good.
I liked old Disney. Old Disney had class, I think is the word.
Yeah, that's why I don't think that they could do something like Sleeping Beauty now. Is that, you know, like I said, Sleeping Beauty is more of an art film.
And they didn't have animators.
And I remember I read about the behind the scenes of Emperor's New Groove back when it was before it was Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
it
it's
was
gonna be
Kingdom of the Sun.
Oh, I wish that fucking movie got made.
Yeah. I mean, I like Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, so do I.
But yeah, like one detail was that was it Michael Eisner at the time, or was it like the guy after him?
I think it was Michael Eisner.
Okay, but he like it was like right when the production was coming to a halt when they realized that they weren't going to make the deadline. But he's saying, no, we got deals with Burger King, we got deals with all these corporations that would need this finished. I'm like, oh, it's like you couldn't make an art film that's like really deep in thought and all that stuff. I mean, you could, but it's like it really damages the integrity of the whole thing when it's laid out bare like that.
You know what I think was the best part of Emperor's New Groove, what sold it for me, was Eartha Kitt in it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can you imagine a movie if it wasn't Eartha Kitt? Because they could have picked any actress they wanted, but they picked Eartha Kitt. She was still in it when it was Kingdom of the Sun.
Yeah.
They recorded her villain song.
Yeah, I know, I heard it.
Oh.
And she also played the main villain in My Wife is a Teenage Robot. Yeah, that's her, Queen Vexus.
The fuck?
Yep.
I need to rewatch it now.
Yeah.
My God, what part of my childhood hasn't she permeated?
I think that. Oh yeah, I also watched Iron Man 1 and 2.
Like, it's cool seeing how far Marvel's gone. I know some people shit Marvel. Marvel's my guilty pleasure. My family's a Marvel household, damn it.
But yeah, it is really neat to see like the early part of the MCU before it was even the MCU.
When it was just the Iron Man cinematic universe. Before it was a cinematic universe. I like Whiplash. I really like Whiplash.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
But
There's not much of his character that I can like. That stands out to me.
Character, I like him. That's when he's walking in a racetrack with fucking whips.
I remember the first time I watched it with my mom, and like they're dragging him away, and one of his boots fall off. My mom thought that his leg actually fell off. So like it was weird to like because I kept going back and looking at that the first time I saw it all the way back then, and I couldn't really tell if his like did he have prosthetic legs or whatever. But no, it was just his boot.
Isn't it amazing how every single villain in Marvel can be traced back to Tony Stark in a way, except Thanos
Yeah, yeah.
and Thor, and oh shit, all the human villains that can be traced back to Tony Stark.
No, I was actually thinking about that, and I forgot to write this down, but I'm glad I remembered it.
Yeah.
Was if I was to do a continuation of the MCU, like build up to another Avengers movie, I would have it be about the villains. Like have the like a villains cinematic universe where the first movie is Ironmonger, but not Obadiah Stane. It would be his son. He actually had a son in the comics named
I remember.
Ezekiel Stane.
He took over Stark Industries, right?
Yeah, that was in the. I forgot to bring it in because I forgot.
I remember that comic.
It was the Five Nightmares.
Yeah.
Was the graphic novel, and it was a really neat idea and it would be neat to see, now especially with like the Joker, and I think there was a Morbius movie coming out too.
Do you know what I would do with that idea? Is that you do two movies. You do, say, the Ironmonger movie. Then you introduce, say, maybe do show what happened to Abomination since he became Abomination.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe Ezekiel Stane, he's building his army, breaks out Abomination.
And then, as he's building the army, they're like, we need someone to, fund us in the open to pull for us. And you hear, my name is Norman Osborn.
I was going to say, he could just break out Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2.
Oh, shit. But I still like the idea of Osborn being involved.
Osborn, yeah.
Have him do the political Osborn thing.
Oh, yeah.
And, and my favorite part is, his whole presidency could be, why have a fucking superhero? Like, he says, sure, he killed Thanos, but who let him get the stones? And that's going to be his campaign.
I was gonna look this up, but is there like a evil Avengers or like Thunderbolts?
They were made of villains. They had instead of Daredevil, they had they had the Iron Patriot.
So they're like the Legion of Doom to the
Kind
Avengers.
of. But they were actually run by S.H.I.E.L.D. When it was led by Nicholas Fury. Not Nicholas Fury, by Norman Osborn. Definitely wasn't corrupt. Definitely wasn't a front to have assassins. Also, they were being head-fronted by, not Deathstroke, the other guy, the
Taskmaster?
Yeah, Taskmaster. I would say he's in the Black Widow movie. You know what the one character I want now? Ursa Major. I know he's X-Men. I want X-Men so we can get Ursa Major in the MCU.
And I was going through the reason I know about the Morbius movie was I was going through the IMDb movies that are coming out. I think it looks like New Mutants is coming out in April. I don't know though because I haven't heard anything about New Mutants since the last time it got pushed back. So we'll have to wait and see. I would love to see it like them do something new with superhero stuff. Like make a horror movie that's.
You know who I would use for a horror movie of characters? Maybe Morbius is a good pick. The Lizard. I know he's been in there. Do a horror movie with the Lizard, but you could do something like spoilers for Joker, where don't call it the Lizard. Don't make it explicitly a Marvel movie. Except obviously his name's Connors, and obviously have this guy who's fucking the nut out that there's a giant lizard hunting him. What did I just say?
That's a weird way to phrase it. Yeah, I was about to say.
He's flipping the fuck out. Or nutting out. Whatever. I apologize. I butchered that baby. But he thinks there's this lizard. You could use the lizard. The lizard's a great villain. Also, we need... I want the Rhino in the MCU. I want the Rhino because he's one of my favorite villains of all time.
Yeah.
I just like, Bill Russian man is easy character to write. But they made him work.
Let's see what else. Oh, I watched Persepolis.
Which one?
Persepolis. It's this animated... I mean, that's not on Disney+, but I watched it on Amazon. It's based off of a graphic novel written by Marjane Satrapi. I'm probably mispronouncing her last
Sounds
name.
Greek or Italian?
She's Iranian.
Oh, shit. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, that
Shit. Yeah, I feel bad and I apologize.
Yeah, and they have the graphic novels here at the library. But I watched the animated movie, and it's really good. I really like the style. I don't know if I talked about it this last episode. I probably talked about it.
I think we talked about it a couple days ago.
Our other group, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really inventive type of animation. They were going to like try and make it in like with computer animation, but Satrapi like made it like specifically wanted it in 2D animation.
Mm-hmm.
They make it work really well. So I'm glad that it worked out. And it's one movie that I was meaning to watch for a long time, and I'm glad that I finally got around to it.
Did I ever mention I watched Claws, the Santa movie?
Huh? How'd you like it?
I'm gonna sound like a baby here. I cried at the end. It got me tearing up.
I actually found out that the guys who worked on Poet Anderson the Dreamwalker worked on Klaus. I think they were both animation directors on that. So
I just like how I like the animation a lot. Wasn't it like hand drawn, computer colored?
yeah,
I like that idea a lot.
I think it was like computer assisted because I think I want to say that they made 3D models and then drew over them with 2D animation.
That's cool.
But yeah, Edgar and Sergio Martins worked on that. And I would recommend looking at watching Poet Anderson the Dreamwalker. It's actually free on YouTube now. The Angels and Airwaves, Tom DeLonge released it for free.
Ever seen of the Killer Bean movie?
No, that's another one that I've been meaning to watch.
You should watch it because it's got really good choreography, but they're fucking beans.
Yeah, Poet Anderson that's about 15 minutes, a short movie, and it's one that I always come back to occasionally, or like I think every year I watch it, or yeah, it's really good. It has really good animation in it, and what else about it do I like? I just really like, and I love the soundtrack. Some people don't like Angels and Airwaves, their music, so. If you don't like, I mean, you can probably mute it if you like just to look at the animation. If you don't like the music, but it's I think it fits really well with the movie. Yeah, it's I think that's the end of my notes. But we still got another 30 minutes to go. But what did you want to talk about today?
Kurt, I'm kidding.
You
Creative process?
Yeah, let's talk about creative. What we're working on creatively right now.
By the way, something I learned: if I have a prop of something when I write, helps me write.
You get him from the Turtle Club. You ever watched Master of the Skies?
No.
That's what I'm referring to.
Turtle.
Have you heard of you remember if you heard about the behind the scenes trivia of that scene when they were shooting?
No.
They shot that on 9/11, and when the news came in, everybody had a moment of silence. With Dana Carvey still wearing that costume.
What the fuck?
And I just picture him just receding back into his head when they're saying the news. Just receding back into his body like turtle.
You're fucking evil.
Saying like turtle.
Now you're just like jihadist.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What the hell were we talking about? Oh yeah, creative process.
He receded into his shell on
Yeah,
9/11.
Yeah. Well, what I'm working on right now, let me segue from that.
Before we both get caught and thrown into a Guatemalan prison.
YouTube jail, yeah. I was playing around with this because I actually got these books from the library. Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, both by Mark Twain. And
Can I have to take a peek at them?
Yeah, sure.
It's been so long since I read these. Oh my god, I had the same fucking edition in school.
Oh, really?
I remember this.
So there's illustrations in there. It's I'm not even halfway through, but yeah, it's one of those. I think that it is important to read just any book when you're. Yeah, there's Huck Finn. They still have the N-word in that, so yes, go to town on that. I was reading up on Wikipedia, and apparently there are some editions where they censor out the N-word for they replace it with hipster, which is really fucking retarded. Yeah, they say it a lot in that book.
Page 226 apparently has a chapter named after it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, oh my god. Oh. Yeah. If Mark Twain was from the fucking South.
I mean, it was him like also commenting on racism at that time.
He's not racist is really the issue.
Mm-hmm. And like I remember I was reading up on Wikipedia again. It was like when he was responding to criticism of his books, he's like, I am shocked and appalled to find that children are reading these books. These are written specifically for adults. Just having that like smug, like asshole attitude about it. It's great for coming from him at least.
Do you know who James Randi is?
Yeah.
Fucking love James Randi. James Randi exerts the same energy. So you write in your little story. Do you want to say who inspired it?
Oh yeah, the story that I'm working on. Yeah. Well, technically, it was inspired by AI Dungeon because I was toying around with that one day. And for those unfamiliar with AI Dungeon is this website or app. I mean, they do have an app now on the Android and iPhone store where it's AI-generated like choose-your-own-adventure stories where you can basically do anything you want, and it usually leads to sex. But more importantly, you can input any command, and it'll take you wherever it takes you is completely randomly generated.
You know what's weird though? So I had one. I actually had a fucking conversation that kind of was really enlightening, even though it was an AI one, with a fucking bug wizard.
Right.
He just liked bugs, and it's like, is that me in 60 years? But it's amazing how, because sometimes it doesn't hit the mark, but sometimes it really hits a groove.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that hit a groove for me is the one I'm basing this story on, because there's a point in the session I was in was I ended up building a raft and floating it down the river, which obviously that was inspired by Tom Sawyer, but like the rest of that sort of adventure, I was going to sort of like pick apart and make it work into an actual story. So right now, what I'm doing is, I guess you could basically describe it as Earthbound, except set in the 1800s. Because there's like psychic powers in it and adventure and stuff, fighting bad guys and whatever. I guess it leans more towards Tom Sawyer than it does towards Earthbound. But right now I'm at the very, very, very early stages of whatever the hell this is.
Just remember, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like this idea. You should use it.
Yeah, I think it's a neat idea right now. Right now, I'm also working on the comic, so I need to sort of spread my resources like
wisely.
Where they need it. Wisely. And last week I said that I was gonna probably have a page of the comic done by now, but again, it's difficult.
You can't just sit down and spin gold from bullshit.
Right.
It's not bullshit, but you know what I mean. You can't. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, right now I'm just eliminating as much distraction as I can from my work. I was actually thinking about deactivating my YouTube like weekly at least, and only logging back in when I need to upload episodes of the podcast. That'll probably be a good incentive for actually editing the episodes and getting them uploaded on time for once. Maybe make a habit out of it. But yeah, it's that and exercising on the regular. I think if I can get as much blood to my brain as possible, then that would probably help.
Some people I know who are writers, and literally this isn't just me doing this, some people I know, but actually other people had to delete their Pornhub accounts and get rid of that so they can start writing. They had to put blockers in it so they don't just type, nope, bad hand, bad.
I mean, that's what, like 15 minutes out of your day, though? It's like,
but some people are like...
I mean, compulsive,
Yeah. It can distract you randomly if you haven't done it in a while.
I mean, I'm more addicted to Twitter than I am to porn. So, thankfully, I'm able to lock myself
Discord's
in.
my bad habit, but I'm also communicating with an artist over Discord.
Right.
Who fucking needs to answer their fucking Discord.
Yeah. Discord and YouTube are the only primary distractors right now for me.
I can't quit Discord because I have the artists over there. I have people I'm working with,
Right.
in my D&D group, and D&D's kind of it's my ritual.
Right. Yeah, I would love to have, when I'm famous enough, to have like be able to hire a social media manager. I feel like a lot of creators, especially independent creators, they need to have somebody who does their social media stuff for them, because they really can't afford to, like Stephen King recently, he like tweeted out something that people were getting up his ass for, and I'm thinking to myself, if he had somebody, if he just had like somebody to just give his account to and be like, here, you deal with this crap, then none of that would happen. Then again, it's like the internet is the internet. They'd find a way to, if they don't like what you
They don't like what you're selling, they don't bullshit anyways. You know?
They'll find a way to get angry about something, I guess is the point I'm trying to make.
What I'm trying to do, so I'm trying to write comics. My issue is I have a very bad opening, but I need a very good ending. Mm-hmm. And I was in a D&D group, and they said, hey, you do comics. Why don't you do a comic on one of our one-shot adventures? And I'm laughing. I'm starting thinking, that's not a bad idea. So I looked through all the ones I remember, and we had one. Pirates are in vogue in fantasy. And you know what else is in vogue in fantasy? Stuff that you can say was part of a Dungeons & Dragons thing. So I'm saying, why not combine those through foul sorcery? Maybe at the end have like a picture of a character next to who played them. Mm-hmm. But that would cost money. That would be for like the print edition.
Yeah. That reminds me of a point that Tim Lim was making. No, I think it was actually Thomas who was making it in regards to Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini and all these other independent comic book guys, is that we're no longer in the era of like AAA comics or whatever. Mm-hmm. We've long since passed that, since like the 90s, and that this is the era of the independent hobbyist. Is that you have people who just want to make comics because they like making comics, not because they want to make money. If you set out to make money from comics, you are going to be extremely disappointed. You're going to end up probably losing more money than you would if you just did it just to have fun and get your story out there. I think that is some pretty sobering advice, but it is true. And that's, for me, that's all I want, is to be able to tell my story and get it out there to as many people as possible, which is why I'm more interested in digital distribution than even thinking about print.
My idea of print would be like if the day somehow my comic, somehow my Gumroad page is like, they're handing me fucking wheelbarrow full of money somehow. I don't know how that'd be possible.
There are independent comic book publishers that you can submit your stuff to. The first one that comes to mind is Alterna Comics, which lately I haven't been hearing much good stuff about them, but that's where I got from the comic convention, this Unit 44.
Let's take a peek through it again while we talk.
That's an Alterna comic. You can see that in print up there. I don't really like this comic, but I mean, it has good art, but the story it just feels like it starts and stops and then starts again, like every time it cuts back between these government agents and these rednecks who find that the plot is that the government guys, their department didn't pay for the storage unit that they put all their alien technology in, and it gets auctioned off to like these redneck guys. But the thing is, it's a 10-page story that ends up being told in like 20 or 30 pages. Ugh. Because 30 pages to tell like this story that could have been told in like 10, because it starts off with the agents being like, we just found out that nobody paid for the storage unit, gets auctioned off. Cuts back, that gets auctioned off, and you can actually see in like these two separate areas where, like, you see the guys like discover this, like, there's alien technology, and then the next time they're shown is that it's the exact same reaction. You can see right here. It's like, what's this? and then like it cuts to them, but then it comes back, and then it's like oh, I lost my place. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, see right there.
Oh my god!
So it's like the exact same like
Basic.
end of the scene, and then it cuts back. It's like that happens like back and forth until like where the actual story begins at the end.
It's not almost anime style to the character.
Yeah, I mean, I like like I said, I like the art style. It has this sort of expressiveness to it, but like the story.
Art style doesn't sell the story though.
Right, exactly. Like a good example, of course, is Literally by like is made famous by SWC. Is they like the art style is pretty rough, but it fits the tone, and it's like the story is what really counts in that comic.
What I was thinking about though was my idea of a story. What I liked about doing D&D parties have this sort of psychology thing.
Mm-hmm.
You inherently want to tell a story when you play, so you make weirdos. And the idea that sort of happened in the campaign was it became less about kill the monster and more like, let's fucking loot the monster's house.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of turned into, and they're letting me use their characters as long as I credit, at the end, this person belongs to this, and this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have been practicing drawing character designs. I've been doing, what would you call these, character sheets?
Yeah, sketches.
Yeah. And I remember the character I played was the cookie of the ship. The man who does all the chef with a big fat Cajun-speaking lizard dragon man who had such a thick accent that I actually had a penalty to persuasion checks.
Mm-hmm.
And his thing was that he found we called it the monkey cat because we wanted to make it a creature that is unpleasant as his voice. It was delightful.
Yeah. And I actually had an idea to have monkey cats in Yesterday Kids.
Oh.
Except it's like more played straight, I guess, where they're like genetic experiments where there are like cats, but they have like opposable thumbs. So they're more like cats than monkeys, but they have like the gait of monkeys. They can they live in the trees.
They're called monkey cats because they walk on their knuckles because their claws are permanently out, and also their tails can wrap around things and pull off bottle tops. Mm-hmm. It's a drunk just like its owner is. But yeah, it was a marvelous misadventure, and that's maybe a good name, Marvelous Misadventures.
A flapjack. Yeah.
Fuck, motherfucker. Strike out that name. Hard names are hard.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like
names are.
I was thinking about that for one of the reasons I put Cat Kid on hold is because I know that that's already been taken by someone. I mean, like the first thing that comes to mind is Fairly Odd Parents, when their version of the Adam West Batman, who's voiced by Adam West. And they reveal he was a child star. He went by the name Cat Kid. But the thing is, you don't unless it's like. I don't think that character names are copywritten. I think titles are, though. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. But the point is, I think that if I wanted to release, if there was a comic series titled Cat Kid, then I would probably have to change it to like I don't know, Tony Sostarsik's Cat Kid, or something like The Incredible Cat Kid or whatever. I don't know. Like whatever. It's not my primary concern right now. Copyright isn't really my primary concern.
Yeah.
I know. It just makes you think about Rick and how like anal he is about copyright stuff. So I was mentioning, like he said, Google to make sure the Yesterday Kids isn't taken. And I like the only result I got for Googling Yesterday Kids was this band. I think they're actually from Ohio too, but. There's just this band called Yesterday Kids, and Rick was like, "Oh well, you might want to change the title of your book." And I'm like, "No, that doesn't make any sense though, because they're a band and I'm pitching a comic. So, yeah, that wouldn't really, unless they wanted to be assholes and take me to court, which I don't think you can sue for that. I'm probably talking out my ass right now because I don't really know for sure. But
I get what you're saying.
yeah, I
It's
think
like,
that it doesn't have to be that specific.
Can I tell you what always gets me just with comics? One thing always bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
I get bugged when someone thinks that you can tell when the writer thought they're onto some hot shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that always bugs me in comics, and they're like, the writer was obviously so proud of himself.
I was just remembered Captain Marvel because Shazam was originally named Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah.
So they had to take that to court. But I don't know. Like, again, it's like...
But Shazam is a better name.
I don't know, actually.
I like it. I think it fits the character better.
Yeah, but he can't introduce himself to anyone, though. Like, how do people know his name? Like, do they explain that in the Shazam movie?
I think how it is it's how he says it, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe if it's like, he says, he goes...
I would think they would have addressed that in the movie.
What they should do is, like, if I say Shazam, November, if I say Shazam, lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you could just kill someone if I Shazam, Does he do that in the movie? Does hug someone and yell Shazam for a lightning bolt?
Well, that's actually in Justice League Unlimited.
Oh.
When Shazam fights Superman, he does that. But then, like, the third time he tries to do that, then Superman, like, zips behind him, and then he goes like that, and he turns back into Billy Batson.
God. Oh.
Oh yeah, but I was before I forgot again. Was speaking of sketches, I watched this video about the Sonic movie, but it was like the history of Sonic movies, and one of them was Ken Pender's pitch for a Sonic movie called Sonic Armageddon. I don't know if you know about this.
No.
He actually did try to pitch to Sega a Sonic the Hedgehog movie based off of his comics, and it would have been about the planet Mobius being blown up and the Freedom Fighters being held captive on Dr. Robotnik's space station or spaceship or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, of course, in standard Ken Pender's style, it's like really unusually dark, and there's like a torture scene shown in the one of the storyboards, I guess. And
excuse me, Mr. Ken Pender. This is a fucking kid cartoon game.
Yeah, where it's like, I mean, it's like the picture it shows is like this bear character just throwing his head back in agony, and you know how he draws teeth, and you can just see like all his teeth and like his legs are being like slowly turned into robot legs.
I draw teeth I draw teeth jacked up because I like drawing jacked up people.
Uh-huh. But the thing is, he draws the teeth jacked up on like normal characters. So
I want to make the fantasy world thing. I want to make everyone kind of shitty, shifty looking. Mm-hmm. I don't think pirates should look like nice people. You know, the sea's rough as fuck.
Right.
But yeah, like Ken Pender's son. What else happens? Does Robotnik die?
Oh, well, not much is actually known about the pitch. Like a lot of the stuff that I'm going off of is sort of me filling in the blanks. But yeah, there's like there's a lot of deep cuts even in the pitch. One of them is like this Sage the Armadillo, so like it goes really into the Sonic lore, I guess.
Do you know what I always wanted to see in a Sonic thing? I always wanted to see like a Tamunda or some weird fucking mammal that no one cares about.
Yeah,
sorry, sir. I'm sorry, Tony. That's a random point.
It's fine. Have you seen any of the animated shorts from Sonic Mania?
No, I haven't played Sonic Mania.
I mean, are
they good?
They have a YouTube channel though, so like they show all the. I mean, they upload all the shorts.
Are they good?
Yeah, they're good. I saw the Chow in Space one that they did for Christmas, and it's really well animated. Really.
I'm gonna look up and do it. Is it like
just look up Sonic Mania shorts?
Cool.
Animated shorts, whatever. They're really well done by Tyson Hess, whose comic I brought in that one time. Diesel.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm a bit out of it right now.
That's fine.
But yeah.
And he actually did the redesign for the movie Sonic after all the backlash.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine being called in for that? Sir, we have a mission of utmost importance for you.
He just takes off his shades. He's like, all right, gentlemen, let's get to work. We gotta go fast.
I hope they play like the old Sonic theme. Like the Sonic movie theme.
It's coming out next month. less than a month from now, Valentine's Day.
Yep.
So, yeah. Are you gonna go see it?
Probably.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, we can watch our podcast.
Oh yeah, they'll probably show it at the Apollo, so we could probably watch it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go in the Sonic, Chris Chan Sonic costume, full body paint. Watch all the people there disassociate from reality when they see me walk in.
So please don't make me be Rose True.
Oh God, no! You'll be Punchy.
You'll be what?
Punchy. Sonic.
Oh yeah.
But yellow face.
I'm just glad you didn't ask me to go as Blatchu.
God.
It's just say his trademark catchphrase. Oh, raspberries, nigga. No, wait, that's Asperchew.
I love Asperchew.
Yeah. I remember that part, like, that I just mentioned. I actually burst out laughing when the black kid just falls into the cherry cola.
God, I want to reread it all now.
Yeah.
I hope I don't leave Sonic the Hedgehog wanting to read Asperchew again. Think of the old Chris Chan days. So what do you think old Chris Chan would have done when he saw the Sonic movie? OG.
I mean, he probably would have had a more calm reaction, I imagine.
He would have done the claw. You know that claw.
This is Christian Western Chandler here to talk to you about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Well, it's been a while since I've watched any of his old videos, so I can't really get the accent right.
You got the voice, the cadence.
That's sort of
right.
like the old, like pre-trolling Chris Chan, because he talked in a more dignified. I mean, for him, dignified manner before the trolling campaigns. It was just reminds me. Another thing I was thinking about today was because I actually rewatched Super Eye Patch Wolf, his essay on Dragon Ball Z, like how at the time, like for him growing up, like Dragon Ball Z was huge, and yeah, I remember how big it was. I mean, it is still really huge in certain parts of the world. Mexico, I know, is like still, it's super huge down there.
Hence why they have all the Mexican Goku memes.
Yeah. But they made me think about. Oh no, actually no, it wasn't that made me think of what I'm about to say. But it was. I was going to ask you. Did you ever have any celebrity crushes when you were a kid?
Let me try and think here. Trying to. The girl from iCarly that was blonde.
Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jeanette McCurdy. Yeah.
I liked her.
Yeah. See, I actually didn't have any childhood crushes.
It wasn't a big one. It's like, oh yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, I think that's probably me with Britney Spears. Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember being that like following her that much as a kid.
If you showed tits, I watched it though.
Yeah, but I was more into 2D girls growing up.
Yeah,
My first crush was Sailor Moon.
Okay.
And then it was Aisha Clan from Outlaw Star.
What do you think of 3D, like 3D but in video games?
Oh yeah. Jack and Daxter was
Asuka, because fucking weeb days,
Yeah.
but
yeah, when it comes to video games, there's a bunch of girls in Jack and Daxter that I remember. Ashlyn, the girl with the face paint.
you know which Soul Calibur had a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at any Japanese video games at the time, yeah, there's a plethora to pick from. Riku from Final Fantasy X.
Pick an American game character.
Oh, I mean, Jack and Daxter counts.
Yeah, like, the Godzilla fandom's funny. It's the only fandom where we're like, yeah, fucking Moth Woman, woo!
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about going on to, like harem animes is what I thought about after that, was how all of those have just aged terribly. Like, harem animes in general. Like,
I want to do a harem anime horror thing where it's like it's a mental virus, very like zombie thing, but not zombie. Like Misery, but it's multiple.
Yeah.
Caused by this mental psycho meme virus.
I mean, yeah. I was going to say School Days was kind of like a dark version of harem anime. One I thought of, I don't know if you ever watched it, was Love Hina.
Oh, I heard of that.
Because
what's that one that was really fucked up, where they had the girl stab herself in the head?
is that the one with the pink-haired girl who's a Yandere or whatever?
No, it's the one where like it's like the girl fucking brutal murder, like murder of a scale. Higurashi, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what she's from. Is that
Yeah.
name of the girl? But
I don't think she's from that. I think there's a pink girl girl in that though.
yeah, but it made me think. Like, made me realize that the only reason I remember Love Hina is because of Mega Tokyo. Weirdly enough, because I don't know if you know about Mega Tokyo.
No.
There's this webcomic that got big, I think in like '99 by Fred Gallagher, and it's done in this really just lazily done anime. It is based, like the visual style you can tell is really heavily based around Love Hina, that art style, except it's done even worse because he can't even ink his drawings. Or at the time, I don't even know if he. I think it's still ongoing. I don't know. I don't really care enough to check that fact. All I know is that what I've seen of Mega Tokyo was shit and probably still is. And I really don't care, to be honest. I don't know. Fred Gallagher, please don't sue us, because you probably either have a lot of money or don't have a lot of money and want to.
If I could
make
go
more,
back in
whatever.
time, I just realized I'm sorry to interrupt you.
It's fine, go ahead.
I
wasn't going anywhere.
I
want
want to go back in time to 10-year-old Zach. Like in the music video to the song, the Danny song from Ninja Sex Party.
Oh yeah.
And I want to go back then to 10-year-old Zach and show him the Bleed Man comic. And then just see like, what? Violator Billy and Mandy? And then the abortion scene, and watch the 10-year-old me slowly become a school shooter. I'm too fat to be a school shooter. I'd have to lose like 200 pounds. Can't carry a hunting rifle with this build. I'm sorry, that's a really fucked up joke.
I mean, you like the skinhead version of Biggie. I can't believe that's a sentence I just uttered.
Can you write that down, please?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I want to write that down. Use that as a descriptor in the game AI Dungeon.
Let's see, skinhead Biggie.
Thank you. I'm sorry. In AI Dungeon, if you use certain descriptors, it can actually apply to characters. Yeah. Oh my god. But like, what would be the thing that you would never show 10-year-old you? The thing that would ruin 10-year-old you?
That's a good question. I have to think about where I was when I was 10 years old.
Well, not 10-year-old, but like that kind of you.
Yeah.
Like young Tony.
Oh,
Jabroni, young bro.
probably Sonichu. This first thing comes to mind.
Oh no.
I mean, that would be probably for 5-year-old me, because I was really into Sonic and Mario when I was like that age.
You know, I wasn't super into Mario. I had the Destroy All Monsters game. Destroy All Monsters Melee. They had the best voice actor ever. Here's my impression. They didn't just go like, Godzilla. He went like, Godzilla 2000. He just had the perfect voice for describing a monster by name. It was amazing. I would probably show him the fan art of Godzilla and Mothra. And, you know, they fucking ruined that monster.
Speaking of Melee, it made me think of if I ever wanted to do a Kickstarter for a video game, it would be like a single player version of or a single like inspired by Subspace Emissary from Super Smash Brothers Brawl, but make that like the whole game.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah,
I like that.
because like I personally loved Subspace Emissary, and I mean that was my favorite part of Super Smash Bros.
Picture what
Brawl.
it would be like in Ultimate with all those fucking characters.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I would kill for? Here'd be my dream scene in Ultimate. You have the fucking scene of Mario fighting Bowser, and Ridley comes down, and Bowser fights Ridley over who kills Mario.
yeah. I know one of the complaints was for Brawl was that Subspace Emissary wasn't all that fleshed out, and that I think that if you did like a more polished version of it, made that the whole game of like. And I mean, if you were doing your own Kickstarter, it would have to be like all original characters. So, who knows if there would be any interest in that? Because I know that
Make them cool characters like Skullgirl.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's holding back a lot of these Smash Brothers clones on Steam, like Brawlhalla and what are the other ones?
Brawlhalla.
Smash. I mean, there's one with Toads. Was that Brawlhalla, or am I thinking of something else?
I think they added a Battletoad to Brawlhalla.
Yeah.
There's that one for PlayStation they did.
PlayStation All Stars. Yeah. You know, I know some people are still waiting for a sequel on that. I really don't see that happening.
Nope, not in the slightest.
I wonder how they would do Microsoft All Stars.
It would be Master Chief just like skull fucking the Xbox. Yeah, baby, you lit.
There's a $10 DLC or $20 DLC for the Xbox One Series X.
God.
Instead.
I'm sorry, I didn't really get
Yeah, well, like, I don't know. Do you think Halo Infinite is going to be any good?
Maybe.
Yeah.
They can't afford to fuck it up.
Yeah. I like the part in the trailer where Master Chief finally shows up, and the first thing he says is, like, you know, like get to our battle stations or something.
Master Chief, do you know what I like about him?
What?
He's a Space Marine from Warhammer done kind of right. When he's you describe him as almost like a knightly figure, like
King Arthur.
Yeah. I was rereading the Black Library books, and like they describe Space Marines as like being like fucking invincible. One guy mentioned surviving losing half of his skull kind of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that.
He kind of makes me think of Doom Guy, but a bit more character to him. Or there's sort of the I don't know how to phrase this without making it seem like I'm shitting on Doom Guy, but
Doom Guy with a personality that isn't rip and tear.
Yeah, I mean,
Doom Guy is good, but Doom Guy isn't he isn't gonna stop holding the monster's quivering heart and go Maria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think was that a Sonic Adventure 2 reference?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yes, that was.
Yeah. No, I actually wish that they would do a sequel to Shadow the Hedgehog.
So do I.
Just why not at this point?
I'm sorry, but come on, that was actually a pretty good reference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I mean, I can't believe I caught that. I mean,
I can't believe I pulled that off.
I mean, I was pretty autistically into Sonic Adventure 2 when I was like a young teenager.
You know, Shadow's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Kind of, actually.
He's ironically cool to the point where he's cool again.
Yeah, it's like, how do they do that? It's fucking sorcery. I am. Well, what's his theme song go? I am all
of me. Yeah, I can't remember how it goes, but
I thought it was like I am all of what I am.
He's bought by the Sailor Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Bebop, bebop.
Yeah, but I think I actually based one of my characters in the comic as a template of a human Shadow the Hedgehog.
There you go.
No, it was Donnie. So, but I think he's evolved to the point where he's sort of his own thing now. I would say, yeah, that's a good example to follow, if I do say so myself. To start with a basic template and just work your way back from that.
Remember when Smokes was a bad guy? When
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Smokes was meant to be the villain, and then about the second time I brought him in, I changed him to be the victim.
All right, so anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
All right, well, I think that we're just about ready to wrap up. We'll see you next week. I've been Tony.
I've been Zach.
And this has been The Monkey Bar.